Hi everybody, it's Tracy from Downwarddogrising. I'm here to give you a back workout to help with back pain. And I taught 7 classes today, so I'm going to just be really mellow, chill tonight, and just help you decompress as I decompress. And I did run 5 miles on the treadmill last night. And I don't know, when I run on the treadmill, my legs hurt so bad the next day. But if I run outside, I don't have any pain. So it's really weird. It's so unnatural, I guess, for me to run on a treadmill. But I appreciate the fact that I joined a gym. So when it's dark out or if it's raining, I can still get a cardio session in. So I'm excited that I joined Planet Fitness for that. So I'm happy. So with that being said, let's start our workout so we can strengthen our core and we can support our spine. Alright, so if you have a little back pain, join me. Let's begin. Starting off, I want you to come into butterfly, supta, not supta, it's Baddha Konasana. Sit up tall, and I want you to just let your knees lift up and down a couple times because we just want to feel a slight release. We do this in Kung Fu where we just kind of move our joints up, down, just to release tension in there. Trying to decompress your hip socket. Okay, now think of the bottoms of your feet rotating up. Think of your knees floating in water, and just stretch all the way up to the top of your head and allow those sits bones to sink deeply under you to ground you into the mat. Stay here and breathe. So we're just slowly going to do a little hip opener. Breathing in. Breathing out. Just soften, yield to the breath. Try to allow your ribs to inflate sideways. Try to allow your sternum, your breastbone to decompress, to fall. So you feel the sides of your ribs pull around and together. So you just inflate lungs in all directions, and then you just exhale. Those ribs float down together. Exhale. Good. 3 more. Two more times. I have a subscription to YouTube Music, so I let it mix some songs for me. I'll post who the artists are and what the songs are later. So if you like the music, you can listen to it. I'll turn it up a little so you can hear. One more time. Deep inhale. You're rising up. And then exhale, gently release. Close your knees. Spread fingers wide, palms to mat. And do a little windshield wiper side to side. Release the sides of your hips right in that crease of your leg and your thigh. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. And last one. I'm going to give you another stretch. Okay, so we're going to go into yoga now and do banana asana, where we stretch each side of our spine long. So come on down to your mat. I don't want to twist your spine, so when you lie on your mat, you want your 2 hip bones to face straight above you to the ceiling. A lot of times in yoga, we'll twist the spine where your hip bones rotate. I don't want you to rotate your hips right now, okay? So you're going to come down to your mat, and you're just going to lie down on your back. So your shoulders face the sky, your hips face up to the sky, and then I want you to gently, I might just lower the camera. Okay. So your arms are long, your hips face up. You're going to extend your legs out straight. I'm going to move back a little. So your hips face the sky. Take one ankle. You're going to cross over. I actually might have to go this way so I have more space. That's all. All right. So your ankle, right ankle, actually crosses over the left ankle. You're on your mat. Your arms reach over your head. Right ankle is over left. Left hand grabs your right wrist. You're going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen to the left side of your body. Keep both of your hip bones facing the sky. And just stay here and breathe. Feel your side of your ribs expand and stretch apart. Rib cage stretches off your hip bone. Lengthen the whole right side of your body by stretching left. Stay here and breathe. If your shoulders hike into your ears, soften your elbows like this above head. Relax into the pose, Banana Asana. Sides of ribs expand. Relax. Release. Breathe into sides of rib cage. Lateral ribs, posterior ribs, back of ribs. Feel chest rise and fall. Lengthen, open up your side line. Create space and length in spine. Two more times here, breathing in. One more time. And inhale, ribs expand laterally. Deep diaphragmatic breathing. Exhale, gently come back center. And we're just going to uncross our knee. Arms reach the sky. And gently stretch spine long. Fingers reach away from toes. All right, let's switch. Your left ankle crosses over the right ankle. Take right hand, grab your left wrist, elongate, elongate, and stretch up and over to the right. Stay here and breathe. Ribs really open apart. Expansion of your rib cage laterally, posteriorly, anteriorly. Open, expand, soften, release. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in. Expand into sides of ribs. Exhale. Just create space and length. When you open your sidelines, you create space in your lumbar area, that low back. You create space in your whole spine. Two more deep inhales. Exhale. One more time. Deep inhale. Exhale. Return center. Bend your knees in. Hug knees to chest. Breathe into space, mid-back, between your shoulder blades. Stay there and breathe. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Breathe into the space, mid-back. Low back is long into now. Exhale, one more time. Inhale, Release your spine. Exhale. All right. We want to do something for spinal stabilization. Your hip bones face sky. Avoid arching your back. Okay, this is what arching your back looks like. If you're not quite sure, I tilt my hip bones up and my low back has a huge gap. That's arching your back off mat, so we don't want to do that right now. We want to keep the elongation of your low back. Both your hip bones face above you to the sky, and that's going to be safe right now for your back. We want this part to stretch apart, lengthen, to decompress your spine, float arms to sky. You're going to lift your two shoulder blades, the flat wide bones across your middle back. Lift them off mat, reconnect them. Inhale, they lift. Exhale, they come back. Lift and down. They lift up and they lower down. 3 more. Inhale and exhale. Return to head lengthens away from tailbone. Last one. So we want to just make your back have more room. Shoulder blades lift. Turn thumbs out. We're going to screw in the light bulb. Thumbs turn in. Blades come down. Up. Out. In. Down. Inhale and exhale. And down. Breathing in and exhale. So just kind of turn those arm bones deeper into your shoulder sockets. 3 more. Inhale, exhale. In, out, back, and down. Last one. In and out, back, and down. Float those arms down by sides of body. Relax shoulders out of your ears. Back of shoulders fall against the mat. Feel chest wide open. Collarbones just spread far and wide apart. Your shoulders are against mat. Think of shoulders, hip bones, knees, ankles are aligned. And I want you to press into all 4 corners of your feet without putting weight in the neck. Feel the stretch long through the front of your hips and thighs. Your glutes engage. You lift up the pelvis. Your knees are over those second toes. And then you're going to lower your hips down. I don't want you to roll up and down through your spine. I want you to open the hip socket. Your hip opens up in the front. Rib out of hip. Elongate. Pull the 2 hip bones together. Think of a straight line drawing across. Transversus abdominis. Deep core. Exhale. Lift pelvis up. Press your feet into mat. All 4 corners. Lower that bridge down. So the hip hinge is going to lift. Press hips to sky. Your gluteals are engaged. Bring your pelvis down to mat. Avoid laying on the hair where it pulls your hair. That's a good plus. So you're going to lift up. Press hips to sky. Abdominals should be pulling in front body to back body, and that helps lengthen spine. Come straight down to mat. 7, lift, lower. 6, press hips up, engage glutes, lower. 5, exhale, chest open, core strong. 4, exhale, lift, down. 3, reach your tailbone away. Your chest is open, your collarbones are wide. Down. 2, lift up, lengthen, lower. Last one. Lift up, stretch hips to sky. Reach tailbone long, lower down. Great. Feel the connection across here. Hip bone to hip bone. You lift your leg up. You tap your leg down without doing this kind of motion. Hips do not move. Hips to sky. Chest is open. Lift your leg. Exhale. tap. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Scoop your core really tight. 8, 7, 6. Ribs expand, ribs knit. 5. Your hips stay still. 4, 3. This is for back pain. So if it seems easy, it's for a reason. It's to alleviate back pain. Inhale. Hips are straight. Pull hip bones together. Tighten your core. Inhale. Exhale. When you exhale, that low back should pull longer against the mat. 8, 7, 6. If you want to heal your spine, this is how you do it. 5. Inhale. Control. Ribs pull together in front. 4. Flatten. Your low back lengthens into mat. Not by pushing it, but because you're scooping core deep into your spine. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Your hips face the sky. Narrow your hip points together. Avoid doing this. Avoid lifting your pelvis. Avoid lifting off mat. Hips straight to sky. Narrow the 2 hip points together. Use your core. Now, right knee sways. It drops to the right. Avoid that. Where can you reach the right knee to and pull the 2 hip bones together? Transversus abdominis. Chest opens wide. Remember, you're not moving your hips or pelvis. That's spinal stability. Inhale, your leg reaches sideways, and then you exhale, pull it back. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, side. Exhale, stretch spine long. Inhale, side. This is how you work to stabilize your spine. 6 more. Exhale. Your back already feels less pain, I'm sure. 5 more. Exhale, feel spine lengthen. 4. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Pelvis is stable. 2. Last one. Pull your 2 hip points together. Your head stretches away from tailbone. Maximum length in spine. Switch now. Hip points draw together. The left knee sways to the side. Avoid doing that. We do that in yoga. We do spinal twist. I'm not trying to twist your spine right now. Keep the space. Ribs away from hips. Ribs out of hips. Keep that space open. Inhale. Exhale. When you exhale, that low back should really stretch long into mat. Inhale. Hips are straight to sky. Exhale. Just concentrate. Focus. Bear with me. Inhale, side. Exhale, center. Focus on your core. You're stretching your spine long into mat. 8. Inhale. Now exhale. Create that space right there between the ribs and the hips. 7. Inhale. Open. Ribs out of hips. Exhale. 6. Narrow your hip bones together. 5. Exhale, reach. 4, chest is open, shoulders away from ears. 3, just move knee to side, bring it in. 2, exhale, side, back to the center, exhale. All right, that was spinal stability. Lift up your knee, lift up your other knee. 90 degrees, back is on mat. Flex your heels. Stretch your rib cage. Stretch your hip bone. Pull apart without lifting spine off mat. Breathe in. Exhale. If your back arches, then you would just go halfway like that. Do little halves like that. That's it. Now inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Ribs out of hips. Exhale. Inhale. Try to pull your rib cage together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Back is long. Keep back long. Inhale, exhale. 4, 3, 2. Last one. All right. Hug in. Rock side to side. Release your back. One foot down and then the other. We're going to roll our hip bones back, 12 o'clock navel. Roll your hip bones forward, 6 o'clock pubic bone. Pelvic tilts. Now, pull the abdominals to your back. Release the spine. Move according to the soft tissue, abdominal wall, pulling to your back, and then releasing forward. Continue here. The music stopped, and I thought it was autoplay, so I'll have to figure out what just played. And then, when I figure out what played, I'm going to play something called Yoga Chill. I don't know, it's a music thing I played before. Yoga Chill, I made it public. Let's play that one. I think this is Moby, starting off with Always Centered at Night. You want to feel how we're stretching our ribs away from our hip bones. This is decompressing our back. Think of, okay, you have the bones of your ribs, you have the pelvic bones, ASIS, anterior superior iliac spine. We're making room in between. You soften into your abdominal wall as you do a deep exhale. You're pulling your core really tight anteriorly through the body to the front of your spine. And then you release. So you just go exhale, and then you inhale. Do a couple of those. If you have pain, you would alleviate the pain by decreasing your range of motion. 2 more. Last one. Neutral spine. Hips face the sky. Now, what I want you to do, you would lift your legs into the air. Take a hold of lateral pinky toe side. You have parallel knee ankle. That's your shin. See if you could take your knees outward into a Nanda Balasana, happy baby. And I want you to keep pulling. Your 2 hip bones pull tight across to the center. And that allows the back of your pelvis to widen, drop into the mat below you. Soften into the stretch. It might be a little intense on the front of your hip joints where the crease of your thigh meets the hip socket. Just lengthen, breathe in. We won't stay long, just get in there a little bit. Soften into the low back. Breathing in, breathing out. Try to soften, allow your breastbone to melt into your chest. When we do shallow chest breathing, it makes our upper neck, our upper traps, our shoulders get really tight from accessory muscles when we breathe. Try to just bring the air deeper down into your lungs. Let those bottom of your ribs expand. Exhale fully. Get the breath, get the oxygen, all the byproducts out of your system. Breathing in, Get the fresh energy, prana, fresh energy, chi, into your body. And then release the byproducts, the toxins with your exhale, carbon dioxide. Let's just do 2 deep inhales here. Let that tailbone just sink heavy into your mat. Exhale, 1 more. Breathe in. Exhale. Awesome. Okay, we're going to take our legs. Stretch your knees to the sky. Feel the stretch, pop gluteus behind the knee. Feel the hamstring lengthen. And then just slowly bring those legs in. Let's just do a couple more like that. Exhale. Feel the back of those legs stretch. Keep your back on that. 2 more. Just stretch those legs up. Reach wherever you can. 1 more. Bend in. Press up. Back falls into mat. Come in. Turn to your side. Once you're on your side, make sure your legs are not forward. Make a straight line. Shoulders, hips, knees, ankles. Okay, we're going to try to create length here. Try to create length there. You're going to relax your head on your bottom arm. Keep open across front of shoulders. Your ribs are stacked straight, so are your hips, so you're aligned. Take top hand against mat for support. Now I want you to lift your top leg. Keep space here. Pull hip back, ribs are back. Lift that bottom leg, bring it down. Top hand pushes into mat for stability. Lift the bottom leg up, lower it down. Activate this inner thigh right there. Tighten into your core. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. We want space in our spine. Keep shoulder down and back. Exhale, inhale. 7, 6, 5. Keep reaching that top leg far away. Keep that hip aligned straight across. 4, 3, 2. We want space in low back. Last one. Lower that leg. Pull that hip. If you have a hip that hikes up, get it away from your rib cage. Pull it down. Keep the length. Now both legs lift up. Press from this armpit. Shoulder drops into the palm. Both legs go up. Both legs go down. Stretch legs long. 8, down. Good. 7, we're decompressing your spine. 6, 5 more. Reach. 4 more. 3, create length. 2 more. Last one. Fold your knees in. 90 degrees. Knees in line with hips. Shoulders straight over the hips. Neck is long. Take your top knee. Work from hip to knee. Avoid moving avoid moving pelvis, hips. Stay still. Tighten your core in. 8. Small controlled circles. Feel the crease there in your hip. Avoid moving hips. 8, 7, 6. Feel those ribs pull together in front. 5, 4, 3. You're only moving that leg. 2. You're going to feel the burn here. Last one. Reverse. Head away from tailbone. Breathe in, breathe out. Stabilize. Breathe in, breathe out. Control. It's all about the control. 8, 7, 6. Just that leg moves. 5, 4. Stabilize pelvis. Scoop your core tight. 3, 2. Last one. Awesome. Draw knee in. Release. Now, prop yourself up on your elbow. I want you to avoid leaning, collapsing, shortening the neck. So shoulders drop away from your ears. Collarbones are wide. We want our bottom ribs to feel like there's a sling. Our obliques start to wrap around us. And I want your bottom hip to lift up. So you're going to lift up, open your heart, chest to sky, and then lower down. So you're just going to lift up, lift the bottom ribs, lift the hip, lower down. 8 more. And you're going to lift up. We really want to get our bottom ribs to open, to reach. Oblique slings wrap us. 8 and down. 7. Keep shoulders away from ears, neck is long. 6. Your back is probably feeling better by now. 5. 4. Lift your hip up. 3. 2 more. And then last one. Lifting up, hold it here, and gently lower down. Good job. We're going to lift up into the air, swing our legs to the other side, and we're going to lie back down. Use your shoulder drops away from ear. You're going to use your arm as a pillow. And you want to have your legs go straight. So avoid letting your top hip fall back. Stack each hip. Feel like your ribs pull apart. Shoulder drops away from ear. Okay, I'm going to do a little easier version. Stretch this inner thigh long. Top leg is lifted. You're going to breathe in. You lift up the bottom leg. And I want you to get this inner thigh to engage, to work it. Core scoops in. Exhale, lift, lower. Breathe in, exhale, keep your pelvis stable. 8, 7. We're keeping our pelvis. One hip is directly stacked on the other. Inhale, exhale. 6 more. 5. Make sure you don't rotate your hips back. 4, 3, 2. Trying to really stabilize your pelvis. Last one. So now pull. If your ribs collapse, try to get them even, straight. Shoulders are straight. Your hips are straight. Press from this armpit into your palm. Keep side of body open and long. All through here, we're opening the side up. Scoliosis, one side tends to collapse and the other side's more open. So then we're going to lift our legs, stretch, lower down, lengthen, lower. So once again, we want this part to stay stretched apart. Use your core. 8, 7, 6, reach legs long. 5 more. Core tightens into back. 4 more. Reach. Come in. 3. If it hurts your bottom hip, that means you might have to pull your top hip forward or put a pad under the bottom hip. 3 more. Exhale. 2 more. Reach. And last one. Okay, now your knees come in 90 degrees. So your knees are stacked, your ankles are stacked. Feel like there's space between ribs and hips, shoulder out of ear. Take up your top knee with control. You're going to just do little circles. Breathe in, breathe out. Stabilize so your pelvis doesn't move. So you just do these little circles. Breathe in, breathe out. 8. Pelvis is still. 7, 6, 5. Just the leg moves. Really engage side of hip and glute. 4. Tighten the core to your spine. 3. So this is like a Pilates pretty fundamental. 2 more for pelvic girdle stability. lumbar spine stabilization. Okay, we're going to reverse. Inhale, lengthen side of waist, breathe in, breathe out. 9, 8, only that leg moves, hip is stable. 7 and 6 and 5. Inhale, exhale. 4, really tighten the core to your back. 3, inhale, exhale. 2 more, keep pelvis stable. Last one, and come in. Awesome, good job. Okay, we're gonna press up. Okay, now from here, what I want you to do, I'm gonna have you stretch out the backs of your thighs and your low back by doing like a little dandasana, where you sit up tall on your sits bones, and we try to get the front of our ribs to greet the back of our ribs, so we're not falling back, we're not leaning, we meet in the middle. Maybe you have a yoga block under your pelvis, you rise up and just sit tall for a moment. I want you to feel your core tighten into your back, sink down into the bones you're sitting on. Sit tall. Breathing in, breathing out. 2 more. And inhale. And exhale. Last one. Breathing in. Breathing out. All right. Now, lengthen between rib and hip. Elongate up. Hip hinge slightly forward. Let your sits bones reach back. Rise up to top of head. Stretch tall, tighten core to back, and then stretch forward over your thighs. Tighten your core to your back. So you're going to breathe in, breathe out, let your sits bones reach back behind you. Stay here and breathe. So we're just doing a little forward fold stretch, a little caterpillar, reaching through the backs of those thighs. Lengthen your sternum, your breastbone forward, and hip hinge. Exhale. And breathe. We want to feel some space between our low back and our ribs. Back of ribs, back of pelvis. Pull your breastbone forward, stretch, hinge over the hips. Be careful with disc herniations. Osteoporosis, you would just do a little hip hinge. You wouldn't go any round through the back. You have to protect your spine. You would just kind of try to open up, elongate up, and just do a little hip hinge forward. Lengthen through back of thighs. Feel the back lengthen. Feel the hamstring stretch. Your abdominals tighten into your back. Keep rising up. Hip hinge without rounding. Keep that spine reaching long. You're going to feel the backs of those hamstrings stretch. Low back opens up. We'll just take a couple more deep inhales here. We're not going to stay in our poses too long today. Just trying to get some length and space, some breath, some oxygen to the muscles. They get really tight and hard if they have no oxygen to them. So we just want to kind of get things to release a little, soften up. Breathing in, breathing out. Go a little deeper if you can. Breathing in, breathing out. One more deep inhale to the center of your low back. Then we're going to rise up to the top of our head. And we're just going to shake out our knees a little bit. Release those knees. Good job. Release those hamstrings, backs of thighs. Okay. Now, I'm going to have you angle forward a little bit, and then you're going to pull the bottom of your foot against your groin, against your inner thigh, and then let's just float our arms to the sky, and I want you to just drop each sits bone against the mat. Feel like you're sinking down into the pelvis, and then your sternum, your breastbone, is going to align over the center of your quadricep muscle, your quad, your thigh. And then you're just going to take those arms down. I want you to lift up, feel the space between ribcage, hip bones, and you're just going to gently soften, reach forward. So I'm just modifying a little stretch forward, hip hinge, getting into the inner thigh, getting into the lateral hip, as well as your hamstrings, back of thigh. This is going to help you come into a straddle. Breathing in and breathing out. Stretch your entire spine. Pull your breastbone. Breathe, soften. We're not in any competition. We're just trying to do it the best that we can from where we are. Soften into the stretch. So I just want to get your hamstrings, your back to pull apart a bit, just to give you some comfort, some release from any pain if you're feeling pain. Tighten your core, lengthen through your breastbone, hip hinge, breathing in, breathing out. Create space, very important to decompress spine before you hinge forward. So we don't want to compress, we want to decompress before we stretch. Lengthen, 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 then you hip hinge. We pull our vertebra apart, then we stretch. That way we avoid collapsing. Big difference. Inhale, you're going to slowly start to feel the low back open apart. The back of the ribs start to stretch away from the back of the hip bones. That space opens. Sits bones sink deeper underneath you. Breathing in, breathing out. Feel those hamstrings lengthen. Backs of thighs stretch into mat. And let's take one more deep inhale here. Slowly, you're going to rise up. Okay, we're going to switch sides now. You're going to take the bent knee in, and then you're going to take the bent. Did I say that right? Bent knee in, straight leg in, bent knee extends out. All right, now we just switch sides. Bottom of foot towards inside of thigh. And then I'll explain if your pelvis has any torque or rotation. You're going to feel uneven on one side, and I just felt it, so it brought attention. So that we avoid exacerbating the unevenness, take a moment, sink into each sits bone, like you have to sink into the bottom of your pelvis. Recenter. So it shouldn't feel like you're like that, or you're like that, or you're leaning. Just fall into each half equally, sink down, and then you rise up. That's how you decompress. You create length and space in your joints. We need joint space to decompress, otherwise things harden and fall into each other, and it's really uncomfortable. It causes such pain. We want things to expand and open and stretch apart. Okay, your sits bones are in the mat. You're going to turn your breastbone towards the front of this thigh. You sink down and you keep lifting up. And once you feel your spine stretch up, then you can sink deeper. Feel the space here between the rib cage, between the hip bones. And then you start to reach forward. If you have a tighter side, the tighter side will want to give. It'll want to come with you. Avoid lifting up your hips. Sink and elevate at the same time. That's your decompression. Stretch up. Breathe. And this is great, like if you want to go take a warm shower or bath after, soak in Epsom salts or something. So it's really good to get the tissue to just really relax. Breathing in and breathing out. Stretch spine apart. Your breastbone lifts up. Get that length. You're going to feel one side of your spine stretch more than the other. You keep lengthening up. Stretch, hinge forward from hips. Avoid rounding your upper back. Keep upper back lengthened. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's take a couple more deep inhales here. Exhale, release. Stretch your spine out. Breathing in. Exhale, stretch apart. Really get that low back to open up. One more time, deep inhale. Exhale, one more time, breathing in. Soften, yield, release. Really lengthen head away from tailbone. Soften, yield, release. Slowly make your way back up. All right. Okay, we're going to go into our straddle pose. So, kneecap faces up. Kneecap faces up. So basically, both of the thigh bones externally rotate to the sky. Your knees face up. And then basically you can kind of shake out those thighs a little bit, kind of push out of your center. And once again, are you even on the center of your pelvis? We don't want to be leaning either way. Okay, once you're even, flex, meaning reach through balls of feet, press heels away, flex, reach the legs, straightening out of your center. Roll to one side, so you push into the bottom of your thigh. Roll to the other side. You press into the bottom of that thigh. You're kind of just like kneading dough, kneading the back of your hamstrings against the mat. So you're just trying to just really put gravity, let gravity do its work. Those hamstrings lengthen into the mat. Lengthen up. Release each side of your low back. Lengthen up. Inhale, exhale, just go with the flow. Avoid letting either hip lift off the mat. We don't want to feel like popping or cracking. Hopefully you released enough of the space in your joints where you're not popping or cracking anywhere. Once the space opens more, kind of those noises go away. Okay, recenter your body. You're sinking down into the bottom of your pelvis. You're going to stretch up. Just stay tall for a second. We're going to slowly start to go forward. Knees to sky, reach through the arches of your feet. Stay here and breathe, just soften into the stretch. Relax your neck, relax your shoulders. If it's within your practice, you can come to your forearms, stay here. Soften your facial muscles, soften your lips, your jaw, your mouth. Relax, release. Just breathe. Just breathe. Allow tight muscles to have oxygen. Get that release. Go with it. Breathing in, breathing out. Soften into the stretch. Breathing in, breathing out. And go a little deeper, go a little deeper. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep your knees facing up to the sky. Feel how those hamstrings get pushed into the mat. Space between ribs and hips, spine is long. Let's just take a couple more deep inhales here. Exhale. Soften. And one more time, deep inhale. And then you're going to exhale, soften. Slowly make your way back in. Shake out those knees. Now we're going to bring our feet together. Crisscross your ankles. And then you may have to adjust those sits bones. Sit straight down on them. And then we're just going to take one arm to our side. And we're just going to breathe into the side of our ribs and stretch apart. Breathing in, breathing out. Stretch this whole side apart. Inhale, exhale. Soften, breathe in, breathe out. Feel that whole side stretch apart. We're going to come back up. Sink into the bottom of your hips. Stretch to the top of your head. Soften to the other side. Sink. Breathe. Rise. Lengthen. Decompress. Breathing in. Breathing out. Feel energy flow through your system, through your body. Breathe in. Breathe out. Everything is energy. Breathe in. Breathe out. Ribs and hips apart. One more deep inhale here. Breathing in. Breathe out. Rise back up. So now we're going to go to our hands and our knees. I want you to do a little melting heart extended puppy pose. So, puppy pose is different than your balasana, rest pose. In rest pose, we sink our hips back towards our heels, and then we stretch our breastbone forward. So let's lift up hands and knees. Let's do a couple cat-cows. I want you to feel like your breastbone elevates and your shoulder blades open. Your abdominal wall scoops into your spine. Okay, now you're going to stretch the top of your head away from the mid-back as your tailbone stretches away from the mid-back too. So you're going to go exhale. Press your palms against mat. Breastbone elevates. Now I want you to inhale. Stretch your head away from your tailbone. Get that maximal length in your spine. Now you're going to exhale. Feel a stretch middle back between your shoulder blades. Now I want you to inhale. Really stretch that spine. Oppositional energy. 2 more. Exhale. Blades apart. Scoop in. Inhale, head away from tailbone. The back pain you started with is probably gone by now. Notice if that's the case. I hope that it is. Last one. If it's not, keep working at it and it will go away. Exhale, most likely it will go away. Now, head away from tailbone. Your alignment, hips above knees. So then this is the area we stretch apart. We're going to pull our breastbone forward. Our knees stay below the hips. And then we just keep that line. Now I want you to really pull your sternum, your breastbone forward. And you're trying to really stretch your torso away from the thighs. And then your head and your forehead come down to the mat. So your hips and your knees are parallel. And just stay here. Soften into the stretch. Relax shoulders out of ears. And breathe in. Maybe you curl toes under so you don't feel as much pressure in knees. Lengthen, lengthen. Soften your breastbone. Breathe in, breathe out. Soften into the mat. Get your upper back to stretch and release. 3 more deep inhales here. Hips over knees. Inhale. Soften shoulders out of ears. Exhale. Pull apart. 2 more. Deep inhale. Decompress that spine. Exhale. Tailbone stretches long. 1 more deep inhale here. If any of this bothers your back, you're going to avoid doing it. Exhale. And 1 more time. Deep inhale. Slowly release. All right. Now, take your elbows so they come under your shoulders so you have some support. Now, allow your entire body to glide, tighten your core, and lower pelvis to mat. All right. Now, the tops of your feet are just going to rest on the mat. I'm going to show you what to avoid. Avoid going like this, where you arch your back or your hip bones lift. Hip bones press against the mat. Clasp your hands together and avoid sinking into your shoulders. I want you to feel like you're pushing into your forearms. Maybe you'll elevate the front of the ribs up a little bit. Lift your heart. Feel space across the collarbones. Tilt chin slightly down. And I just want you to hold for a gentle back stretch. So we want to do a little bit of extension for our spine. Just coming into our Sphinx for now. Chest open, shoulders away from ears, neck is long. Tilting chin slightly forward. This will help your back. Tighten your abdominal wall to your back. Breathe. Relax your shoulders away from ears. Feel a slight stretch in your abdominal wall too. Exhale, release. Soften those shoulders, collarbones wide, neck is long. Let's take 2 more deep inhales here. Strengthen your spine. Open your heart. 1 more time, deep inhale. Exhale now. Extend your arms a little further away. That way you avoid compressing your lumbar, your low back. You avoid hiking your shoulders. Get a little stretch here. Your elbows point to the mat. Going into your seal pose. Stay here and breathe. Soften, yield. Hips firm on mat. Breathe in, breathe out. Neck is long. Shoulders are down and back. Inhale, ribs expand. Exhale, release, soften. Open some space, decompress your spine. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, exhale, 1 more deep inhale here. The last one, you might even feel those triceps, back of your arms working. Soften, gently come in, relax your forehead on the backs of your hands. Nod head, nose, side to side, release your neck. Softly release, going into our wisdom center. tailbone long, spine is supported. Alright, come back center. Take your hands under the shoulders, shoulders away from ears. I want you to gently just press your body up into your hands and your knees. And then we're going to fall back. Hips fall back over your heels. Pull your breastbone forward and stretch. Gently release. Stay here and breathe. If you want to get a deeper stretch through low back and pelvis, instead of your knees together, feet stay together, but your knees can separate apart. Allow your pelvis to just sink deeper into the mat. If that's within your practice, then go a little wider. Stay here and breathe. Soften, yield, breathe. Let go. Let your sits bones pull back behind you into the mat. Pull your low back apart. Let your breastbone pull your spine forward. Get that oppositional elongation in your spine. That is your decompression. Let's just take a couple more deep inhales here. Soften, breathe. Inhale, exhale, release, breathing in, ribs expand, exhale. Slowly walk your hands under the shoulders, press your body up. Okay, slight variation. Walk your knees together to one side. Sit back over one hip, more over one side of your pelvis. Now, you're going to stretch opposite to get that elongation in your back. Pull apart, couple breaths here. Legs to the left, torso to the right, arms to the right. Feel left side of spine elongate. Inhale, back of ribs expand. Exhale, release. Breathing in, expansion. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, exhale, release. Make your way up. Okay, now your hips fall back to the other side. And we're going to stretch, lengthen, so you're leaning more to one hip. Gently stretch to the other side now. So whatever side you didn't do, your center, your low back pulls apart, and lean and stretch down and away. Breathing in, breathing out. Feel lateral ribs expand. Breathing in, breathing out. Greet any tightness and just let it go. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more time, breathing in, breathing out. Slowly make your way back in. And there you have it, you did it. Come back to your center. Allow your knees to release. Maybe cross your ankles. Other ankle crosses over the other side. And then I'm just going to have you sit really tall. Breathe into sides of ribs. Exhale, release. Take one hand to side of body. And then relax, shoulder away from ear. Gentle little neck stretch. Slowly look under. Armpit. Gently come center, release. And once again, you're lengthening up. Slowly stretch, neck long to the side. Gently look under your arm, release. And gently come back to the front. Side and neck lengthens. Now we're just going to drop our chin slightly forward and down. A little neck roll. to one shoulder. Soften, relax. Neck roll to opposite shoulder. Move really slowly, gently to one shoulder. And back in. Another shoulder. Back in. Back to center. And release. Take a deep inhale here. Open arms to sky. Bring hands to heart. Feel that healing energy come into your body, releasing tension, healing your heart, mind, and soul, releasing any pain in your body. Just let it go. Feel the healing. Feel the energetic release. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, everybody. Appreciate you all. Please continue to support me and my channel. Appreciate you. Love you. Hit share, like, or subscribe. And I'll be back soon. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Peace. Bye. Hope you feel a little bit of relief from any back pain you might have had. Peace. Bye, everybody.